Good morning, good evening, or good night, wherever you are in this world today. My name is RJ Stewart, owner of ProEnity LLC, and I want to talk to you about a great partnership we just started with the United Credit Education Services. So, if you have a few minutes, stick with us. We'll walk through this presentation and show you exactly what financial literacy and education looks like, what it could do for you. So, a lot of you are familiar with ProEnity, our business model, and our reputation in the community and also in our industry. So, it comes natural that we would only choose to work with the best partners. And here at this company, United Credit Education Services, we found that in them. Definitely a company that you can rely on. They were founded in 2004 and headquartered in Farmington Hills, Michigan. Now, their suite of products is amazing. It is definitely a full service, wraparound, huge suite that covers everything as far as financial knowledge goes and financial education. So we were really, I would say, impressed with the services that they provide, how they provide it, how ethical they are, as well as how they provide the services. They're completely debt-free, and they've helped thousands of people. That was a huge thing for us, knowing that they were completely debt-free, because a business that actually practices what they preach. You know, you can't teach someone to be debt-free if you still have debt. And they've also held the same key executives since the inception of the company, which was also a huge point for us, due to the fact that if they were able to keep those same key executives, it just goes to show how well that they treat those executives, and that their vision has not changed. It has stayed the same. So why is this more important than ever? So the biggest difference between financial success and financial failure is how well you manage your money. And I'll give you a quick illustration on that. If you take a man that wins the lottery, he was, dirt poor, broke. He would make a certain amount of money, lose that money every single pay period, but he wins the lottery. Here's the truth of the matter. He's going to end up poor again. He doesn't have that relationship with money to where he knows how to manage it. So there's no way he can master it. He's going to go back to losing everything. You've seen it a million times. You'll see that people win the lottery and then they'll quit their job, and a couple months later, maybe a year later, they're back living paycheck to paycheck again, probably working back at that same job that they quit. Now, the reason why that is so is because they have not, they never were educated in being able to manage money. They do not have that relationship or mindset to be able to protect money, secure money, and be able to make money work for them. So that's where they fell. So it's simple to master money, but in order to do so, you have to learn to manage it first. And that's what this whole program is for, is to be able to provide that financial education that was never given in school. So I want to talk to you guys real quick about 5 shocking facts that you did not know about your finances, or actually the world's finances. Sadly, the world is in a really stressful financial state, and COVID is not the only reason for it. It's been like this for years. It's just that COVID is really bringing it to light, to where people are understanding how critical and how critical their and fragile their financial situation really is. Americans, especially Americans, are drowning in the total of $1.05 trillion in credit card debt as of March 2019. All right, that's as of March 2019. We're moving into 2022 right now, and COVID did impact a lot of people. So you could probably multiply that number by at least 2 or 3 right now, due to the fact that a lot of us went to living off of our credit cards once we got laid off, and then people started waiting for unemployment. So a lot of people are hurting way more than what this slide actually says. 56% of people in the US have no rainy day funds. Now, that doesn't seem like a big deal, but I'm going to go back to COVID again. That wasn't a rainy day. That was a rainy year. How many of us actually had some money set aside to be able to cushion that blow? Evidently, 50% of us did not, and that is heartbreaking. 40% of baby boomers have less than $10,000 saved for retirement, and a lot of them would, a lot of them were taught that Social Security would, be able to help, but we all know how that goes. It's projected by 2037 that the Social Security accounts will be depleted. There will be no funds left. So right now they have less than $10,000 saved for retirement, 46% of them. This next generation will have nothing if that's what they're relying on. That's something that has to be fixed. 40% of millennials have spent money they didn't have to keep up with friends, and most keep it a secret. But it's really no secret. It's really no secret. We buy the best shoes, we buy the best clothes, we buy the best cars, which mean nothing to us, but it's to keep up that facade and keep up that appearance with your peers. And honestly, you don't have the money. You charge it to a card and say, I'll take care of it later. But what you're spending money on isn't an investment, and it's not an asset. You're adding more of a liability for nothing. It's even small spending, like, hey, I want to get HBO Prime because all of my friends are talking about Game of Thrones. You went and spent the extra $50, I think it was $30 a month, just to have one streaming channel, just to watch one show. So then you'd be able to converse with your peers about what happened last week on the show. That is mindless spending that is causing millennials in all generations to fall deeper and deeper into debt all of the time. And the last fact that I want to share is 43 million Americans have a credit score of 599 or less. And that's why we're really here. That's why we're really here. That is the most crushing fact for anyone to hear. Me personally, I hate it. I remember when I fell in that category before, and I didn't realize how limited I was. It's a huge limitation on anything and everything that you want to do. So I'm not gonna harp on that too much. Let's move on. Now let's be completely honest. Poor credit and financial distress can actually really affect people emotionally. It has a lot of emotional effects. Anxiety, embarrassment, frustration, fear, confusion. Those last two, fear, actually the second one, embarrassment, and the fourth one, fear. Those are two that I struggled with during my during my time of being a 599 and below with my credit score. Embarrassment and fear. What's gonna happen tomorrow, and being too embarrassed to ask for help, frustrated, why can't I get these things, why can't I do this, what's the difference between me and the guy down the street that just got a new car, what's the difference? Financial literacy, their education, how they manage their money, how they move about in this financial labyrinth that a lot of us are not a lot of us aren't privy to or guided through. But the truth of the matter is, there is nothing to be ashamed of. That happens to great people all the time. It's nothing to be ashamed of. You think even you think Michael Jordan or LeBron James, if they missed a shot that they've practiced on forever, you think they feel embarrassed when they miss a shot? They don't feel embarrassed. It's, hey, you know what? I'm great. I know that I'm great. I'll do better next time. Well, I'm here to tell you that when it comes to credit, it's the same thing. If you make a mistake, it's not impossible to fix. We can help you fix it. First thing is seeking the help. That's the first thing. That's the first step that you have to take. Do not be ashamed of your financial situation. Be ashamed of knowing that your financial situation is in a state of crisis and not taking the steps to make it better, or educating yourself or getting the education to be able to make it better. Now, I know I talked about a lot of depressing things in the past few slides, but let's get to the smiles and the happiness. Having a strong credit score gives you confidence, makes you excited, makes you feel abundant. That's just some of the good emotions that it gives you. You feel confident that you can walk into any bank and you could request a loan, or you could walk onto any car lot, and you're not shopping around at just used car lots, hoping that you can get a car that's not a complete lemon. The fender stay on at least for 5 miles. That check engine light won't come on for another month. You don't want to be stuck looking for cars like that. You want to feel confident walking onto a new car lot with 2022 cars, 2021 cars, maybe even a 2020 car, and knowing that when you sit down and talk with that salesman, they're gonna run your credit. And you already know, before they run the credit check, you already know that you're leaving with that car. You're already looking in it, seeing how much room you and your family is going to have, and thinking about all the vacations that you're going to take before you even sit down to talk with that salesperson. These are the kind of feelings that having a strong credit score gives you. A good credit score also opens up possibilities to the lifestyle that you desire. You're not stressing so much. You're not so afraid of tomorrow. You know that you have a cushion. You know that you have everything that you need, and you're financially stable enough to even be able to make a mistake. A lot of people are afraid to make one mistake because they don't have a cushion. They don't have good credit, and they don't have that nest egg. We talked about that rainy day fund. They don't have any of that, so they tread so lightly. They're afraid to make any kind of mistake, which means they don't take any risk because they're not financially stable enough to be able to afford a mistake. Good credit also makes it easier to get some of the things we just talked about. A new house. That's the American dream. Everyone wants a new house. They don't want to settle. They want the house of their dreams, whether it's built from the ground up or it's just a house that caught their eye and they want that house. They want to be able to walk into it and see, this is a beautiful house, but I don't like where this den is. You know what? I'm going to look at another house. And be able to shop around in confidence, knowing that they can get any house that they have their eyes set on. A new car. We already talked about that. Low interest rates on credit cards and loans. Listen, if you're getting credit cards and you see these crazy interest rates on them, it's not because the bank hates you or the lender hates you. It's your financial reputation is so damaged that they don't trust you. I'm going to be frank and honest with you. They don't trust you. So they put higher limits. They put higher interest rates on these credit cards and loans. And also with credit cards and loans, you have higher limits to what you can borrow. Because they trust you. They know you're going to pay it back. They're looking at your previous, they're looking at your score, and they're also looking at your credit report, and they're seeing the consistency of you paying back. Also, contracts without security deposits. Be that a new phone, no security deposit. Utility bills. You just moved into a new town, and you're setting up your utility bills. No security deposit. Somebody's going to come over there and turn on your lights and hook up your water and everything. No security deposit needed. Why? Because they trust you. Alright? So, here's how we help out with this. Alright, so here at United Credit Education Services, or UCES, our commitment clearly is to helping individuals and families build, protect, organize their financial future. Once again, we don't just help you fix your credit. We actually help to educate you in financial literacy, which is something that's taken for granted, or something that is just not taught in school. Some public schools may, some private schools may, but they just touch on it. We actually want our youth to graduate from high school knowing what a credit score is, knowing how to repair it, knowing the do's and the don'ts, and how to navigate through that financial labyrinth that I was speaking about earlier. So we hold the award-winning protection plan. This is the suite I was talking about. Life-changing products. I'm not going to walk through every single one of them. Actually, I'll touch on every single one, but I'm just going to zoom right through them. So you have your budgeting, credit restoration, credit builder, credit attorney, credit monitoring, debt payoff, financial lockbox, identity monitoring, your net worth, that's one of my favorite, savings goals, will and trust, the YFL Family Mint, and you have Rocket Lawyer. So listen, the credit restoration is amazing. This is what helps you to get rid of to get everything straight with the credit bureaus. Get rid of the inaccuracies, the obsoletes, the erroneous items. Get your credit back to get it up to where you want it to be. But now, after you finish with that, now it's time to actually build credit, because even after you get all of that stuff moved off, you might not have the credit score that you wanted. You still have to build credit. It's not just having a clean record. You have to build credit. All right. So that's what we help you out with that as well. We have an extensive library, and the credit builder is actually probably one of my favorite as well, because that's not taught a lot. A lot of companies will just help you with credit restorations, but after they help you with that, they just leave you flapping in the wind. This right here, credit building, is the truth, and I love it. Credit monitoring, that's something that a lot of people forget, especially before their credit goes to crap, and then after they get it back to normal, or get it back to where they want it. You have to constantly be watching your credit. You have to be checking it out. You have to be watching it. That's as important in financial management as counting the money or checking your bank account. A lot of us sit there and constantly check our bank accounts all the time. We'll check. Oh wow, this payment has been authorized for $3. We'll catch that real quick and report it to the bank. Well, why aren't we monitoring our credit the same way? All right. So our services also come with a credit attorney that evaluates your case. And now, if the creditors are not in compliance with the FCRA Act, your credit attorney is on it. This comes with your plan. Okay, so this isn't something out of pocket that you're paying for extra. All right. So we'll go over how your credit score is calculated. 35% payment history. Those are your on-time payments and your delinquencies. All right. Your last 24 months prior to today, those are the most important. Those are the ones that they're looking at very closely, and it's going to determine 35% of your credit score. All right. The capacity and amount owed. That is the percentage of credit limits available. All right. Utilization of your cards. All right. That's how much you're using. If you have a credit card, it's typically you don't want to use more than 35% of 30% of the limit that they gave you. If you have $1,000, you don't want to use more than $700. You want to keep that as low as possible. You want to Yes, that's the capacity and amount owed. All right, length of credit, that's 15%. How long you've had your accounts. Now, if you have 9 years of credit, that is great. But you want that payment history to be good, right? You want to keep those. You want to keep your limits that you've been using, your utilization. You want to keep that low too. So your length of credit, how long you've had credit, because now they know how consistent you've been in your credit history. You can't really prove consistency with somebody who's only had 1 year of credit, right? You trust somebody with 9 years of credit who's been doing good more than 1 year of credit. It's that track record. Your new credit inquiries is 10%. This is the number of inquiries and new accounts opened in the last 12 to 18 months. So if you're hopping from car lot to car lot just so you could get a car, any kind of car, each time they're running a hard inquiry on your credit report. So each time, each car dealership that you go to, some of them I've even seen run 2 or 3 because one lender wasn't right, so they wanted to try the other 2 lenders that they had. So that's 3 hard inquiries that you're walking away with, and all that's doing is showing whoever you're trying to lend from that you are desperate for credit. They see all these inquiries. Why is your credit report being hit so many times? Why are they inquiring so much? This shows desperation, and they're less likely to lend to you. All right. Types of credit: installment loans, revolving accounts. Now this right here is the last 10%. You have to have a mixture of different accounts. Installment loans, houses, mortgages or so, revolving accounts, which is like a credit card. You use it, you pay it, you use it, you pay it, and they want to see good history with that. Your different types of credit, they want to see how you manage each different type of credit. So that builds more of your reputation as well. All right. Okay, so now remember we were talking about managing your money. It's not just getting your credit report straight. Now we need to work on your financial future, which comes with organization. So first thing we go into is your budgeting. We help you and your family to be able to set budgets for you to be able to live by, to where you can live comfortably, but you could also create that rainy day fund. You could also put away for vacations. You could also be able to do the extracurricular items and be able to afford the entertainment in your life, as well as being able to have what you need for your household and still be able to live comfortably. It doesn't matter if you you make $1,000 a month or you make $1,500 a month. If you live in your means and you create a budget, you can put away for such activities. Don't let anyone else tell you that you can't, because it's wrong. You can do so. It just takes discipline, and it takes a roadmap and a plan, and you can do it. Right? We go into your net worth, where we figure out your assets and liabilities. We have quick and simple calculations and formulas that will be able to watch your net worth grow. You'll be able to see where your net worth is and what you're worth as far as your net. That's the reason, net worth. All right. The YFL Family Mint. This is a program that we have implemented in schools all across America. And now that education is now put into an online portal to where you don't have to be present at one of those schools in order to do so. So this is good for your teens and your young adults that are almost ready to, from middle school up. I'd say it's great for all ages. It's never too early to start learning about financial literacy. All right, then we have the debt payoff. This is where we can help you create a financial plan that can create that where you can comfortably make payments to get rid of debt and be out of it and done with it forever. All right. So now after that, you want to protect your financial future. All right. You organized it. You built it. You organized it. Now it's time to protect it. You do not want anybody taking away or destroying what you just worked so hard to do. So we have the identity monitoring, one of the greatest systems, #1 voted numerous times. But we'll watch your identity. Make sure none of your, because a lot of people have inaccuracies on their credit report and they don't even notice that they're inaccuracies because somebody stole their identity and ran up those credit cards or got utilities in their name. Well, this right here is one of our products that helped for you to be able to watch this. All right, now the next one I'm really excited about, will and trust. And here's why. A lot of us begin to create a secure financial future and we bust our butts to do so, and then we never take the time for creating the will or creating the trust or organizing our assets to be able to be dispersed to who you want it to be dispersed to during the the unfortunate time of your passing. And all of that you just worked for goes to nobody. It just goes to the estate, or it gets scattered, or it doesn't go to who you wanted it to go to. So you can't leave that generational wealth to your family if you don't have a will and trust. All right, a financial lockbox. It's of that, I keep talking about that financial labyrinth. That's what this is. It's exactly what it's a roadmap to your financial contacts and information in one central online location. So this will work along with your will and trust, but it keeps all of, in case of emergency, you'll be able to assign for somebody to be able to get into that lockbox and be able to contact everybody on your financial team to be able to make decisions and to be able to do things that needed to be done in case of emergency, if that makes sense. All right, your savings goal. What are you trying to get to? It goes along with your budgeting. This is how you have money for that rainy day. You create a goal, and we have a system that helps you stick to that goal and continue to move forward. All right. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this presentation, seeing what we have to offer, seeing our biggest concerns for America right now as far as financial literacy goes. And I'm sure that you also share some of those concerns. And we'd be more than happy to sit down and do a free consultation with you. Just reach out to the person that either gave you this video, or you could just contact me. That information is also going to be here on the screen, and we really look forward to helping you. Even if you just have a few questions, you just want to be put on the right road, or you just need some we have ebooks, and we have also other informations as far as other videos that can just provide this education to you. We look forward to hearing from you, and we hope you guys start 2022 off great and enjoy the holidays and continue moving forward. Thank you, and have a great one.